Detached homes year to date are down by 11%. Semi-detaches down by 7.9%. Townhouses are down by 8.2%. Condo townhouses are down by 11.7%. Condo apartments are down by 9.8%. The story is that everything is down. Is the market gonna crash? Watch my video to find out my opinion. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Hussein Kabani. I am your favorite broker. I mainly work the Durham area. We cross over into Toronto a bit. Our focus is with helping families and investors, mainly in the resale market, and we are dabbling a bit into the new constructions. If you guys have any questions for me, I'd be more than happy to answer you. My calendar link is gonna be on the screen. Book an appointment, and I'd love to get to know your situation, and I can give you my advice on that. So we're in the middle of September 2023. And I have a bit of a market update for you guys about kind of what's happening right now, what I kind of see the fall market looking like, and maybe we could dabble a little bit into 2024. Who knows, it starts to get really foggy after the next month or two. But what I wanted to share with you guys right now is, as you guys know, I'm a big Durham guy, a big Pickering guy. So I did kind of run the year-to-date stats, January to end of August in Durham and in Pickering. And I want to just quickly share those with you guys. Nothing too crazy and probably nothing too alarming that you guys are probably not aware of already right now. If you look at overall Durham, across these different housing styles like detached semis, townhouses, condo townhouses, and condo apartments, we're basically down in number of sales by like 18% across Durham. And in Pickering, that's down by almost about 10%. The average price across Durham has gone down by about 8.7%, and in Pickering, it's gone down by almost 10%. So basically in Pickering, we're down 10% in units and we're down 10% in average selling price. The neat thing over here is that the condos are actually up in terms of number of units sold, okay? Price is still down, okay? So across Durham, it was down by 9.3%, and in Pickering, it was down by about 9.8%, okay? But the number of units sold was actually up. Across Durham, it was like 6.4%, and in Pickering, it was over 14% increase in condo sales. So it's cool, but it didn't surprise me because these are the type of products that we didn't really have too much of before, but we're obviously getting a lot more higher density type of units. So it doesn't surprise me that we traded more of that. And I think that in the future, we'll probably continue to see this number go up as we see the new development projects go up, right? Like we have Universal City that's doing 6 or 7 buildings. We have Pickering City Center that's going to be doing 8 to 10 buildings over there as well. There's Highmark that's doing their buildings. There's Viewpoint that are doing their buildings. And there's several other applications that we've talked about in other videos as well of new condo projects going up. So I think that the condo units, we will see in the future a lot more of that volume, and maybe what we'll see is the low density stuff maybe stagnant off a little bit. I'm not saying in terms of price, but in unit transactions, because I think that people that have these low density units, I think that they kind of know what they have, and if they're going to be trading, they're probably going to be trading to get into another low density type of product. So if you have a townhouse, you probably want to go to a semi, or from a semi to a detached house, something like that. But I think those will pretty much remain flat, and you'll see the condo units increase both in price over the long run, and units for sure starting right now. Another thing to kind of note is that, you know, our days on market actually haven't gone up that much. Durham in general went up like 2.4 days, okay? 2.4 days average selling on the market, and Pickering was 3.2 days. It's not like your house is sitting on the market for like 90 days or 60 days even or whatnot. The key to it is that if your house is priced correctly, it's likely going to move within the first 30 days. And the numbers indicate that it's going to be a lot less than that as well, as long as it's priced correctly. Obviously, we're down a little bit in the market here right now. And when are we going to make up this ground? Honestly, guys, it's a little bit hard to say at this point right now when the prices are going to come up. Obviously, I think the big contributing factor of the prices going down is going to be the interest rate, right? Like we went up quite a bit on our rates, and that's kind of slowed everything down, just like the government Bank of Canada wanted to see happen. So when those prices come back up, it's really hard to tell. It's really going to be tied into the interest rate for sure. And based on what happens there is going to dictate the price. So right now, if we're sitting at, you know, the 5% with the Bank of Canada, if that starts to come down to like 4 or 3%, we pretty much will see the prices start to come back up. It's going to introduce more confidence to consumers, and they are probably going to start getting out there. The catch of that is that probably the government Bank of Canada doesn't want to see that happen because it's going to cause inflation to spike at the same time. So there's going to have to be some kind of a healthy balance until we get our inflation under check. What does that mean for you guys in the fall market here right now? And again, it doesn't apply to everybody. It just depends on the specific situation you are in. That's why I always encourage people to just reach out to me and have a conversation. We can get a little bit more about your specific information. I can give you my advice based on that. But if we're talking in general here right now, what I would say is that we saw the prices from year over year is kind of down to 10%. I would say that if you're looking to get into the market and want to buy a house at some point or a condo or something, it might be a good time. If you're depending on your financial situation, you think you have a stable job, you have some money saved up for your down payment, you have job security, that type of thing, and you want to be a homeowner or a condo owner at some point, I think that it might be worth for you to be looking in the market right now. And if we're correct about what we've seen in the past and what I think is going to happen in the future is that if that interest rate, when it does start to come down, I think we will see prices start to come back up. So you guys have to pick the poison you want, right? Are you willing to get a lower price, technically get a lower price right now and deal with the higher interest rate, in my opinion, for maybe the next year or 2 years or something like that? Or are you willing to pay a higher purchase price later on and deal with the lower interest rate? Pick your poison. I think if it was me, I would deal with the higher interest rate right now because I can always kind of refinance that in the future, but I won't be able to shave off that amount of my mortgage if I purchase later on and just get a lower interest rate. It just will be easier to service at that point. So that's my suggestion for people that are kind of looking to get into the market. The other people that I see has an opportunity over here is move up buyers. So if you have a townhouse, you want to get into a detached house, or you have a single car detached, we get this a lot as well, single car detached, they got kids that are growing up, they're getting cars, they need a little bit more space and whatnot. They're moving into detached double car garage homes. Is that a good thing to do? I would say absolutely, because when we look at the charts as well, is usually the prices that are the higher price points, they probably come down a little bit more than the ones that are townhouses and whatnot. So maybe you have a net number is actually probably in your favor. I get it. If you're a single car detached in Pickering used to sell for $1.2 million, you're probably going to get, maybe just over $1 million or 1.1 for it right now. So you're thinking to yourself, wow, I lost $100,000 or $150,000 on this. But when you go and look at the houses that were, $1.7 million, you're pretty much picking those things up for like 1.4, 1.5, something like that. So your offset is actually working out better for you. So I think in terms of a move up buyer, if it meets your needs and that's something that you need, it might not be a bad time to consider something like that right now as well. We get this question a lot as well. Should I sell right now? How's the market going to do? Should I sell later? Guys, it's a very tricky question to answer, especially where we are right now in the economy. And I think it depends on what your personal situation is at that time. Do you need that cash right now? Are you going to qualify for your mortgage? If you take a mortgage at a higher rate, are you going to go under on it? These are all the things that you have to take into consideration. So if you're going to financially get hurt by not selling your property or downsizing to something else like that, I would actually make that move. But if you're just kind of wondering and thinking if this is a good time to cash out and whatnot, listen, if you don't need the money, you don't need to move, and you like your house, my suggestion is stay put. We talk about it a lot. In the long run, real estate will go up. Some people comment, oh, it's going to go down. Interest rates are going to be 22% and you're going to lose your shirt. I don't know. Can it happen? Yeah, it could happen. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't think so. Could be wrong. That's basically my advice for you guys moving to the fall. Just to recap, if you're a first-time home buyer wanting to get into the market, my suggestion to you is that I'd get in now versus waiting until the interest rates go down, because I think it's less of the poison while getting a lower purchase price, dealing with a higher interest rate, being able to refinance later on, still having that lower purchase price that you had, and also getting a lower interest rate later on in the future. If you were a move-up buyer out of necessity and whatnot, I'd say that's probably a good thing for you guys to do. I think that even when the market goes back up for you move up buyers, it's going to be almost the same thing for you guys as well, okay? You're going to sell at a certain point, you're going to buy at a certain point, and that's what I tell all of my buyer and sellers that are doing it at the same time. You want to trade in the same market, okay? Maybe in this market here right now, you might have a little bit more of a benefit because we've seen the higher price point drop a little bit more than the lower price points. So if you're selling in the lower price point, you probably have a little bit more upside when you do that upsize. And if you're just speculating on the market, I almost have no advice for you. I would basically say, like I said, if you're stuck in a situation where you can't afford your new mortgage payments, yes, definitely decide to downsize. We had another video that we did with Jonathan Griffiths. He kind of explains the pain of what you could get yourself involved with if you are going to be defaulting on your mortgage as well. And even if you have to deal with private lenders, it's a pretty ugly situation out there. So if you're in that type of situation, yeah, then maybe you want to sell. But if you're just thinking about it for fun and you think that the market's going to go down in the long run, I don't believe that, but everyone has to make their own decision. I am more than happy to speak with you guys about your personal situation and give you my 2 cents about it. My calendar link is gonna be below. I advise you guys to click on that, book an appointment. We could have a quick 15, 20-minute chat. I can give you my opinion. And until next time, guys, remember one thing, get Kabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.